right. Hello and welcome everybody to the Western Hopium Den, episode number 14. I'm Szabel and I'm joined as always by Halfling, noted Lord of the Rings completer, extended edition, for anybody who's wondering. We crossed that milestone. Yeah, I bring it up every time. But we are here to discuss the LCS, which we never gave up hope here at the Hopium Den that we would have the glorious return.
I assimilated quick because I'm like, whatever I'll just call whatever the fuck they want because I don't care. And I mean, you never gave up hope, and now you're right. Now you get to, now you don't even have to change anymore. Like, deny it. It's LCS again.
Yes, there will be no denying.
One of the worst decisions. I think this is up there with like the Discovery HBO and HBO Max levels of like rebranding.
Oh, for sure.
Like it's gotta be.
Yeah, it's horrendous. And, you know, some might say that we are a bit prophetic with the, return of the LCS, because we used to call this show the Northern Hopium Den in reference to LTA North, but we had changed it many, many months ago to the Western Hopium Den because we were like, you know what, we're not riding with this LTA North thing. We're going to stick with the West because, you know, we got some teams in LEC we really like as well. Switched the name on up, and now, thankfully, you know, as you mentioned, the horrendous mistake that I'm sure somebody's going to get double promoted for of changing to LTA North and now back to LCS is finally resolved. So that is great. What were your first kind of thoughts when you saw that announcement come out at the finals there?
Well, so here's the thing: is that announcement has been leaked. God, like. There were like surefire leaks of it happening like a week before finals. And if you watched literally any Last Free Nation podcast for the last 3 months, they were like, yeah, they're going to swap it back to LCS and CV LOL. It's going to happen. This is too stupid. They're losing too many viewers and they're going to pin it on the name and call it good. So this is literally no shock to me at all. I was expecting this change to happen as well. As like, you know what, they have to go back, because that's the thing they changed, right? Totally didn't absolutely fuck up the format and remove a bunch of teams and change our stream times and days multiple times, and then arenas, and then not have events anywhere accessible aside once a year. You know, no other reason at all. Totally just the name that ruined the LCS image.
Yeah, honestly, like it's just pretty cringe that, and we'll touch on this a little later, but the goals that were stated. I mean, we can kind of just get into it, I guess. Like, do you remember it back a while ago? It was one of our earlier episodes. We talked about what the stated goals of the LTA merger were, where they had like the split 1 goal, split 2 goal, and split 3. Mm-hmm. We'll just rehash those real quick. And we can decide whether or not they were successful. So split 1, their goal, and originally they were going to return to a traditional BO1 format, which people hated. But they obviously had to switch.
2 days.
Yeah, they had to switch that because of the whole fearless stuff. So they were operated on a tighter timeline, which is the one grace I will give them. But their logic was this will allow team fans to see all matchups multiple times and foster rivalries and fandom and deeper connections to the stories and personalities that will define the LTA. So obviously that was a complete wash. I don't think anybody's really signing up to want to see, like, even the logic there. Like, I don't think people are signing up to want to see more matches of, like, Shopify Rebellion versus Lion. Like, I really do think that...
I mean, dig DSG, man.
Dig DSG, that as well, yeah.
Okay, that honestly did kind of turn into, like, a little meme rivalry of just the 2 shitty yellow teams at the bottom. But, like, I don't know why I don't know who thinks BO1s are going to be able to make actual rivalries. Yes, more games are played on average in comparison, but... the timing is so weird. You don't get time to like develop as a player. You can skirt by as a team. Like imagine you're a team like Lion who struggled to really make it through game 3s in the Fearless system constantly throughout the year. You get to coast on by as like a top 3 seed probably because you just have great talent and players who are really good at one or two champions. And so you can make it through on that. All of a sudden, we send in the wrong people, send in the wrong storylines. So I'm super happy we swapped to best of threes. But overall, I mean, the other thing is they talked about fostering rivalries, and that was also meant as like a dig between North versus South, and we had the one tournament.
Yep, there were like 5 games or 4 games or something ridiculous, like in no BF5s. So not really, if they would have actually gone through with the merger in an honest way and actually had, like they do with Valorant, just like the Americas League, and had cross-conference the entire time, I think that would have actually unironically saved the viewership and done a lot more for the scene. Just but they decided to do it half-ass.
16-team league.
Yeah, they half-assed it, and they got half-assed results. And, like, in the second split, they said consistency in split 2 ensures opportunities to discover new talent and celebrate familiar faces, which is just like corporate mumbo jumbo. And then it's all about learning and improving in their own conference.
It's all that like initial list that they made just read straight up like someone typed that into ChatGPT like 5 minutes before.
Yeah, they were like, "Here's my bullet points. Now make this into a coherent message." And it's like, got it. But that was also going to be double round robin best of 1, which then they changes it to I think double round robin best of 3 or single best of 3. But like
a single best of 3.
Yeah, and then it's like, with a single round robin best of 3, you get all of the same amount of games between those teams that you would have gotten with a double round robin BO1. So, because they obviously have to play a minimum of 2 games. Yeah, and on average more. So it doesn't make any sense to say, like, we want to see these matchups more, so we're going to do BO1s when BO3 solves that. But at least we had the double elimination best of 5 playoffs, which was nice.
We've kept that bracket, and
yeah,
it's a lesser evil of that bracket because now that's spread over into LEC, and I sincerely apologize that we infected you with this kind of weird bracket where the top seeds just like instantly qualify to Worlds with no questions asked, or like instantly qualify way far, and then they like the schedulers freak out because, oh shit, we're stalling if we have this actually start at round 2, which is usually where like your top seeds are going to start playing in this bracket. It's going to take an extra week and a half for viewers to see the best matchup possible. So we're just going to schedule a round 2 game in the middle of round 1 and hope no one questions it. So I apologize that we gave them that as well because they copied it and it looks like shit. And now there's massive breaks and that kind of carried over into split 3. With,
it was horrendous.
You can give it that spiel. What did they even call it? What was their goal?
Split 3 was pick and play. And they said Split 3 will introduce faster eliminations and exciting new formats. And yes, the format was exciting, but in the way that you're excited when you, like, it's exciting to see 2 cars crash into each other at full speed and, one or both of those people are dying. And that's what it felt like watching the LCS Split 3 with that pick and play, which, even the flag ceremony, the players were just meek as fuck in their trash talk. It was like really honestly some pussy shit aside from Whippo, which I guess that's relevant in multiple ways. But honestly, the format just overall was horrible. Their goal for Split 3 was improving competition and increasing viewership. Like their stated goal was increasing viewership. And by the way, we'll get into these numbers later. That did not happen.
It increased for a certain subset that intentionally or unintentionally for Riot, but
it was just horrendous.
It was just bad all around, and now they're coming into this year and they're thinking they wanted a scapegoat. First scapegoat is someone's got their head on a pike into the Riot office. It's not Mark Z because they're parading him around for damage control, right? So I think it's not whoever swapped to the LTA name because we would have gotten that name.
I think it was just some random Kako, whatever that guy's name was, Carlos or something. But yeah, I mean, like you said, like we infected the LEC format. Like, I remember a time in the world where there was some sort of infection that may or may not have came from China, that may or may not have also been a government conspiracy, but that that spread around the world and it hit every country, and everybody was affected by it. Now, I don't understand why we can't have that happen with the LPL format, and we could get that in the Western regions here. Why can't that be the thing that spreads around the world and comes into our leagues? Because if we had that groups format that they had, with the shit teams all go in one group and the good teams all go in the other group, and you combine that with both like the North and the South, you could have top 4 teams from North and South in one group and bottom 4 in the other group. And that would have been so good. But, unfortunately they didn't do that. And also the viewership, as you can see Mark Z coping on the screen here, about the viewership actually going up, which is just like, I still can't get over the fact that was something that they put out.
That's the initial one, right? It
is. It's like
very recent. Okay,
it's not recent, but it's like I guarantee there'll be something like this that comes out. But there was a
way to explain it.
A Monte Cristo tweet that actually highlighted the viewership numbers, as this covers half my face, but whatever. This season for the LCA, and it only compared it to last year, so it's not even comparing it to like the old like double lift Bjergsen days where we got like 500-600K concurrence on the stream. But even with just comparing to last year, its English viewership is still down almost 60%, which is insane. It has the numbers here on the screen, and I'll pull up the more detailed ones, talking about how the Portuguese viewership actually hard carried the LCS this year, which is hilarious. And if you look at 2024, the English language viewership was over 200,000, 230,000 there, which, decent. Portuguese at 50K. But then when you go over to this year, you have the Portuguese viewership over 200,000, English viewership all the way down to 98,000. So we somehow lost 130,000 English language viewers on the Riot North American English language product.
What's funny is at least I can kind of explain the Portuguese numbers. Is if you look at the CB LOL now, thank God.
Yeah, CB LOL back too as well.
CB LOL instead of LT Sul or South, depending on what the caster feels like calling it today, was a phenomenal year.
Oh yeah.
Internally, as a region, you had multiple competitive teams. You had tons of fairly good storylines. You could like Trimby, who's you've got like Vivo Kate Stars at the very end, and led by Trimby after they like gutted the team split 1, came back and punched way above their weight of expectations from split 1 into split 2 into split 3. You've got Furia, who came just out of nowhere, being led by a Think Card, Macro Plan, and challenged the best teams in the West
awesome
at MSI.
Yeah,
MSI was so awesome, and then they kind of sputtered out. You've got at the start of the year with like I think it was Pain, right? Pain being the top team. So you've had 3. It was Pain or Red. It was Pain or Red, but
it was one of them.
At the start, it was another very competitive, like different team, and I don't think that's a reason why NA part of the reason, at least I personally wasn't super tuned into this playoffs. I still watch them, of course, but like I didn't really care about the results because I kind of knew what would happen in the North. There is one team in the North right now. We are pretty much at the exact same issue that LEC had in 2022, 23, where it was literally just G2 and everyone else was getting outclassed. And now we've got FlyQuest and everyone else is outclassed. I don't think that's a reason viewership is down this much. I don't think it's the name either. I think the actual, I think people just kind of got burned enough times.
Yeah, I feel like the name was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah,
like they made so many bad decisions leading up to that. The schedule changes, the format changes, having 2 teams drop, just series after series of horrendous decisions that you'd almost have to be a conspiracy theorist to not think that they were intentionally trying to tank the league. And, a lot of people think the same thing about the LEC right now with what's happening with the Los Ratones thing, which we can get into after we talk about the finals here.
Yeah.
But the the LCS finals were pretty underwhelming, I would say. FlyQuest, I think everybody expected them to come out with the W. I don't think there was anybody predicting any team aside from FlyQuest, which kind of aids to your point of the one-team region kind of argument. LEC dealt with this for a long time. This year they had way more parity. And some of the teams kind of put it up, but really it just felt like all FlyQuest all the time, to to quote one of our our favorite casters here. But Vivo K-Stars kind of put up a fight. In game one, FlyQuest completely dominated them.
Yeah.
But, early on in that game, it actually kind of looked close until that Masu quadra kill on the Corki at the Rift Herald fight, and then it was pretty much GG after that. Did you have anything that stuck out to you from game one?
No. I remember when I tuned in, it did look close, and like it was the Masu quadra kill, and then it was them trying to catch out Busio around Raptor Pit, and they just like couldn't get it done. And it looks like throughout the entirety of the series, FlyQuest was just playing with their food. Like the comms got released, and when I'll talk about it a little more at the time, but like throughout the entire series, they didn't really seem too stressed at all. They didn't really seem like they thought that there was a chance Vivo could win, and it felt like game one. It felt like throughout the games, specifically in game one too, any situation Vivo Cade got an advantage, it felt like it wasn't off the back of Vivo Cade playing super well. It was them pretty much just playing solo queue and finding the inter, picking them off, and then FlyQuest being like, ah, shit, my bad, guys. And then they stopped it for 5-10 minutes, and we saw that in this game. They inted a little bit early game, realized, oh shit, we have to like use our hands. And then they used their hands once, and Masu got a quadra kill.
Yeah, honestly, like they, Dom streamed, but he was co-streaming it. He was like, they can't keep getting away with this. Like they just cringe macro differs. Like they just play like the early game kind of tough, and then have a good rotation onto Herald and win the game. But that's what it takes for FlyQuest, to pull these series out, especially because I think they always say they're going to be taking it extremely seriously, but it's probably pretty hard when you've been so dominant for the entire year and you're playing against a region that you've historically always been better than, to take it like as seriously as you do against like a T1 or a Gen G or a Huma Life or even like a CFO. But yeah, that game one was definitely the quadra kill moment. Game two, Bwipo's Ambessa just completely took over the game. He was actually smurfing, and so was Busio with his map impact. I think he was on the Leona that game. And Masu was actually deathless on the Senna, which was pretty impressive. But that game felt like the Bwipo story for me on the Ambessa.
It was the Bwipo story, but it's also another case of, it feels like no matter what in Western games, FlyQuest gets the champions they seem to always want. Like, there shouldn't really be an excuse for playing Sivir Rel and just giving away Senna to Masu. Top 3, if not top 2, just behind Upset for best Senna in the West, I would say, or like up there at least. He's in the conversation 100%. And we're just going to give away Senna and then give Busio Leona, so now Leona can run around the map and make super easy picks with Vi, Talia, let alone Ambessa as well. It's like, I don't know. They get away with some crimes in this draft, because there should be no excuse that they get all these champions in this order, and they do. And I think in draft the game was lost. You're playing Xin Zhao with no enchanter, and the follow-up is pretty weak. And Trimby had to move mountains, and you can't move mountains, especially when you have to make Mikhail's rush as well.
Yeah, even if you're Mr. Incredible, you have a hard time moving mountains, which is one of the funniest things over the weekend. Apparently the Brazilian fans called Trimby Mr. Incredible, which is he's just pull up a side-by-side picture of him and Mr. Incredible. It's like the same nose, forehead, hair situation going on. It's actually really funny.
Mr. Incredible pre-island, pre-cheating.
But yeah, and then honestly, in the third game is when Vivo Cade Stars punch back, and you're like, oh shit, we have a series on our hands, and they actually just completely fisted FlyQuest in that game. Like, it was like 14-0 at one point, I'm pretty sure, and like Quad was running it down on the Oriana, Busio was running it down on the Karma. I think they were both like 0-5 in that game, and it was honestly like some unforced errors from like the whole team pretty much. And then they had Inspired on a pick like Skarner, which I don't really like for Inspired and the way he plays with that team, because you can't create your own leads with Skarner. You're just like tanking and trying to... Yeah, you can't power farm. You can't create your own leads that way. You can't really like start fights because Skarner's abilities are all really slow and predictable. You're kind of just like a backup to like peel divers off your team, or like look for like weird angles with the wall dive. But yeah, like it just doesn't look like FlyQuest is as good at playing the game when Inspired can't drive the game on something that has early game impact or can power farm where he's strong in the game. So I think that's a weakness that FlyQuest showcased.
I think it's also the first
got slapped.
time in a while that we've seen FlyQuest. This because I mentioned in the last game, FlyQuest always gets what they want. This is a game where they don't, and I think they really blundered in this draft. Because if you look at all those lanes in their matchups, the only real lane you kind of want to be in here for FlyQuest is the Karma Ezreal into Jin Nico. That's a playable matchup. Your goal as that Ezreal Karma is to establish priority on first reset, get a good back timer on like wave 6 or to 8 or so, get Ezreal Sheen, come back, and then reestablish that prio. That's your goal. But notice how there's no mention of trying to kill. There's no mention of trying to do anything other than just create pressure, farm up, and then be ready for third dragon fight with like 1.5, 2 items. Now you look at mid lane, you look at what Quad did. First off, I like Orianna. I don't actually mind Orianna in this comp specifically, but you go double defensive, so you're never going to have damage as Orianna until death cap on 3 items, and you fell behind. Into Akali. Your jungler Skarner, that's great.
They
your
had top Nocturne Akali, right?
Yeah, they had Nocturne Akali, so they can just win the 2v2 no matter what. And then Whip was on Renekton and Dinar. What's the goal of that lane? Weather the storm and be useful in teamfights. So you have 3 lanes whose goal is to weather storm and be useful in teamfights, and you have no conduit to then actually be the storm that you're weathering for. It's just over. So that's and I think that's a habit actually that we see at a lot of FlyQuest, but mostly internationally. We see this in their game 5s against the Eastern teams, against your Gen G and your BLG, where they get their champ pool stretched and then they just can't draft a team comp they actually know how to play, and they can't put Inspired on something that can carry. And this is what it looks like, because I mean, this is a very eerily similar game to the BLG series where they just fucking ran out of steam. But this time, instead of being on game 5, they were up 2-0, so they had time to just thug it out, lose the game on purpose quickly, and then get the fuck out and redraft.
Yeah, and then in game 4, like, Inspired just locks in the "I want to win the game now" pick with Maokai, which I'm very familiar with, and just pulls out the dub for his team there to win the finals. And Busio Bard is obviously disgusting. He played really well that game.
Yeah, they kept Lucian's a little random in this comp, but everything else, Whippo's on Urgot, Quad's on Ryze, one of the few mages that you can go double defensive into, and you've got the Maokai, so you have pick and roam options, you have very good team fighting. Did end up going the double AP, but still went correct and went the Knight's Vow. He's a big Inspired's a big Knight's Vow abuser, and I really like that item. So
yeah, not enough people build that.
It was just a done deal. They got in and they fucking showed. They did their normal stuff of, we're going to have priority at all objectives because we have winning bot side, and they just got shit done.
Yeah, and Bwipo was feeling himself in the Urgot too. Like, there was that 17-minute, like, by the Krugs and bot lane fight where he's like 1v2, but like he's 1v2ing them, and then he just randomly like int flashes into like the enemy team, misses his disdain, and then just dies, and everybody's cheering. And it's like, why are we cheering for an int play where Bwipo just like it takes his own life in the game in Minecraft, and it's like it just runs it down? And then I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, well, considering the fact that at the end of the series, when Bwipo like lifted the trophy, people were booing him. Maybe they were actually cheering for him because he died in the game. It went in for an hint. They're like, yeah, this guy's hinted. I don't actually think that. I think they were just cheering because I see like someone make a flash play and they're just idiots. But it was just really funny.
The boos were audible on stream, which was really funny.
It was disgusting, honestly. Like, I mean, I kind of fuck with it in a way because I'm like, I like when there's like tension like this, but it's also like, this dude just won your region for you, and now you're booing him because of something he said on his stream that he already apologized for, and was not completely taken out of context, but was like somewhat taken out of context by a lot of people.
It was taken a little out of context, and you can apologize for that statement. That doesn't vindicate you entirely from the action, and people are free to express themselves.
Of course, that's why I don't have a big problem with it.
I do think most people that were booing the stadium were just hearing boos. Same thing, like, if you hear a couple of people cheer because a flash happens, it's like, yay, fuck it, I don't know, man. Like, I remember clapping at T1 winning, and I fucking hate T1. So, like it just happens.
Just the crowd think.
It's just groupthink, and it's okay. A groupthink both ways, right? You're booing because you're booing, and you're hating him because you're hating him. Like I don't know. The game 4 was kind of a done deal. It's the usual thing of FlyQuest playing against teams that are worse than them. Of they lose this game to Happy Game, and then they just lock in and remember that they're supposed to be literally a top 10 team in the world, and they do that.
Leans forward in chair. Yeah, it definitely felt like that. They came back and just stomped after losing pretty hard. And there are LTA North Split 3 champions. And the only LTA champions, the first and only LTA champions, which is hilarious. A pretty exclusive title.
Oh yeah, because Riot does the weird thing where there's not split champions anymore. Because like the LTA first split that went to the first stand, first strike, whatever the tournament was.
Yeah, didn't Team Liquid
was
win that?
TL. Yeah, Team Liquid won that, but they weren't technically like LTA champions. I think they were LTA North.
Yeah, it was like the first stand qualifier. It was like LTA North Split 1 champions.
Let's see what they called it.
Just horrendous. But they had like a different name. They had like the victors, the champions, and like the conquerors, and like the conquistadors, or whatever the fuck. They just had like a different name for every split. It's like someone needs to stop like hitting the dab pen every 17 minutes and trying to like come up with like interesting things for this format, because it's honestly getting absurd at this point. Just like, we know what works. We have it in other regions and it works there. We don't have to like try to do this crazy like disruptive like innovation like typical like American tech company thing just because you live in fucking LA. Like, I don't care. Just do the right thing that works, that everybody else does, and make the product entertaining. Like, they're just trying way too hard to justify their jobs, and it's super annoying. But I mean, I think there's not much else to say about the LCS finals. Kind of just a dust up by FlyQuest, and pretty much as expected, it was scheduled almost. But did you get a chance to catch the LEC finals?
I watched a little bit of it, but it's another situation of I tuned in for the G2KC series a couple weeks ago, and G2 just looked back.
They're back.
They were so back. Also, update on it. It was the LTA Split 1 champions. Split 1 playoff champions. So they weren't actually LTA champions.
It's just so horrendous.
So FlyQuest is genuinely the only LTA champions. Forever and only. Thank God, at least. But onto LEC stuff. I mean, G2's back. They look ready to go. They're starting to lose scrims, too, because, of course, Dylan Falco posts their scrims, and then everyone starts randomly talking about it. Because, God, I don't know why we really care about scrim results, and I mean, they addressed it too.
Well, at least that's the least controversial drama that a coach has put out in the past month.
The least controversial drama. Oh my God! When those messages from Casey Apples popped up, I thought League Riz was bad, and then that shit popped up, and then he came on Twitter. You know what? Did you see his response? Did you see what he said?
I saw that he posted one, but I didn't take the time to read it because I'm like, this guy's just piece of shit anyway.
He claimed, he's like, I'm sorry this hurt the club. I didn't think this would be wrong. I don't think I did anything illegal, and I didn't think that this would affect our results.
Well, something doesn't have to be illegal for it to be like scummy. Like, if people are like, I didn't break the law. It's like, yeah, you just
why leaking who you're practicing with and causing Vladdy a ton of strife because you're the one that leaked that Nissi was streaming or playing with them and for nudes, and then you didn't get any.
Honestly, I don't even know if it was nudes. I think it was just like text responses or something. They were like, this is fucking weird.
He was trying to get strange.
Yeah. But anyway, enough of KC. They're not even going to Worlds.
They're not going, thank God.
With all the drama they had going on. G2 is so Barack, as you said. Fnatic somehow squeaked their way in. My boy Upset managed to get it done. And, the greatest of some time, some roads lead to him, Poby, also made it in there, which is wonderful. And our boy Jojo and MKoy, they're in there too. Elyoya has not missed Worlds, I believe. I believe he's on a 7 Worlds appearance streak at the moment. Maybe it's less. I'd have to go back and look or something like that.
Yeah, he hasn't missed worlds, but there's definitely a single worlds that he wish he missed.
No, we don't have to. We don't have to. He just hasn't missed worlds. We don't have to dig into what happened at those worlds. He's been there. He's made worlds, which is the Western Cope for almost everybody. Which obviously we are going to partake in some of that here. But yeah, so we know all the representatives now. We know the Western teams that are going. So I figured we could run a little tier list and see these players, what we're working with. So you're going to have to let me know if this is showing up right on the stream.
Yeah, I'll turn into it. Sorry.
Our cameras should still be showing, but I can't see Streamlabs.
This is how I have to do this.
Well, just let me know if the cameras are showing and if it's still, if I'm scrolling a bit on the tier list, if that's working. If that's the case, then that's fine.
Then I probably got to sit through and add too because it's Twitch.
Oh,
Keep your ads on like a G. Oh, I can see the cameras are definitely not right. They're showing up as the side by side. I'm teaching you video after the stream. That's what I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna teach you the thing we use at Cupid.
Well, the cameras should be fine.
No, it's split. So like you can it's like a side by side right now.
I didn't fix it. Whatever. We will just do it this way.
Yeah, that's bad. They're bad. I think if you turn your Discord tab, move it so that way it's not widescreened. It's like a small window, so the cameras are on.
We'll just do it.
You can fix it. It'll fix real quick. I swear. Just make your Discord not your 16:9 monitor. Just make it like half of a size. It should fix it.
But now they're just gone.
You know what? They're just gone. They're just gone.
Yeah, fuck it. They're just gone. We'll go back. You don't need to see our faces while we flame the EU players. But yeah, so we're going to do a players tier list here for the Western players, and I have all of them here ready to go below here. I have all the teams, so I guess we can go team by team. We can start with our boys in FlyQuest. So obviously they're all going to go straight to God tier. No, not actually. But I do think that, if we're going to talk God tier Western players, Inspired has to be in there.
Yeah, Inspired can 100% go in God tier. So is this, of the players, is this among the best amongst the West, or
best of the West?
Competitive best in the West, okay. Then I think, Masu Quad B, Busio A, it's hard because I don't know if I want to put Bwipo very high because BB's back, Mirwin looks really good, Oscar is kind of homeless. I think Bwipo kind of has to go A just because the competition for top lane, Western top lane is just not, it's not there.
It's fair.
And Gakko's, I don't know, you can put him at.
We'll leave Gakko's for a little.
We can leave Gakko's out of there.
We'll put him down here.
If we see him play in a Worlds game, we can be happy with him.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Okay, so we got Busio. I think Busio is easily God tier support. This guy is just absolutely disgustingly cracked. Yeah, I mean, I think he's.
It's like him.
Maybe
him,
the
Mickey.
best. Him, Mickey Alvaro, and honestly, Labrov is actually good. That guy doesn't get enough respect. He's actually good.
Hey, how many? What do we tell him to do during MSI? Didn't we tell him to retire and stop playing on G2 and stop running down Caps' career?
I don't know if I said that. Nobody can prove that.
What was the acronym that we came up with?
Wasn't it?
Well, you came up with.
Acronym?
Yeah, you had an acronym for Labrov's name.
I don't even know.
No, that was someone else.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Fine.
That.
Regardless.
That's a long acronym.
Yeah, Busio can go God tier then. Masu B or A.
I put Masu B. I'm
still on the opinion that he's a fair weather AD carry. We haven't seen him. We still haven't seen him struggle. We still haven't seen him play in a team that doesn't give him resources, and how can he generate stuff on his own. And when he's asked to do that, he has faltered a lot. Now, when that's asked of him, he's playing against players demonstrably better than him. He's playing against your Elks and Rulers and so on, but still, I don't quite think he's up there yet, and we can ignore Gakkos.
Yeah, we'll just ignore Geckos. I agree with that.
Quad though. I mean, I've got opinions on Quad, but I'll let you go first.
I mean, like, I think Quad is one of those players that, like, he can be extremely good. Why is this not doing this? He can be extremely good, but I just don't know, like, if he's at that elite level. Like, he's good in LCS, but he still loses games, and he still, like, has performances like he did on Oriana against, like, the Brazilian team. So, for me, Quad's also a B tier, but
Yeah.
I could see an argument for A tier, but I'd put him high B.
I put him like low B to starting to go to C is the thing. That's where I would put him.
You think
Because
Masu is above him?
I think Masu's above Quad because anytime we are talking about players on FlyQuest criminally underperforming and struggling to kind of get themselves out of bad situations, it's always Quad and Masu. And Masu was usually been the product of the rest of the team is already losing anyway, so AD carry can't really solo carry as much anymore. But Quad, like when Quad looks bad, dude, that there is no discussion about him being like a genuinely bad mid laner, and like, hey, you can then look at Saint and Quid and be like, these two mid laners, they're more consistent and have higher highs than we see from Quad. Quad has champion pool issues. Quad has positioning errors. His team fighting's phenomenal.
So you'd say he's like the faker of the LCS? Given all of
God,
his
can we
factors.
just call him a role player? I feel like he's just a role player, man. He clocks in, he does his job. His job is to deal AP style damage and play more assistance based, like,
and go 0-10
team
on
fighting.
Vex. Or wait, that was Quid.
And go 0-10 on Vex, and
Yeah, that was Quid.
oh yeah, he did that too. Well, yeah, but I think he can be good, and we've seen that for a while now. But I don't know. You've got Caps. You've got the guy that Some Roads leads to. You've got JoJo too. I just think the mid laners from the West are genuinely a lot better than him.
I mean, yeah, I could see it.
Wilkins are back.
I know. I'm going to see if I can actually fix
I swear,
these.
if you just
these
get
live
if you
here.
get the cameras on top of each other,
But look how fast this is happening.
you're just gonna do it like that. That's what you're gonna do. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna write
It's
it down
working.
before I go out.
There we go. That didn't
Sure.
that didn't take anything at all.
I'll make sure to teach you about this later. But Quad it's another like fair weather Korean import who's looked really good because we haven't seen him struggle. And I genuinely think if you slot this guy into DSG, if you slot this guy into Dig, you slot this guy into Lion,
Oh no.
I think those teams are a lot worse. You fucked it up.
When I full screen the tier list, wait, actually, maybe I can just put the tier list up here. And now the cameras are still going to be showing. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I agree. I think that this is a good spot for Quad. So we can move to Fnatic. Now, just off the rip, do you think Fnatic even
retire
has...
Oscarinen?
I agree with that, actually. This guy in the semifinals just looked insane, and then in the finals just completely ran it down.
Always a problem, since he had like 2 weeks of his debut, literally did the same thing that Noah did, and the finals, okay. But it's literally, since he started in this league, he has been a consistent issue for this Fnatic roster, and it's been the thing Fnatic has lacked for the longest time. It's just the issue that they can't fix, because it's the same reason none of these other teams in the EU has really been able to upgrade their top laners. Every time we get a top laner into EU, they play well for their first split, and then they really struggle to carry it over. Oscarinen did the same thing, looked fine to serviceable in their first split. Second split came around, sophomore slump. But it didn't even take a year, man, to hit sophomore slump.
I can't believe we're going to do this, but I'm actually going to join the
You're
Oscar
defending?
defense force just for a brief minute.
All
Even
right.
though I don't like the player, I think he's actually a good player. Like, he's mechanically quite good. He can play the carry champ. He can play all the top lane champions.
Yeah, when
It's just
he
that
when
on,
he is.
but it's just on this Fnatic team. They put almost all of their resources, like in a cookie cutter way, almost into the bot lane. Razork is pathing bot lane every single game, but you still have Oscar trying to play stuff like Jace and Gwen and Ambessa, where it's like you need at least some level of resources on
You can weak side
a
the
lot of
Ambessa,
those
but the rest
carries.
of
You
those
can
fine.
the Ambessa, yeah, but like he's still trying to pull these picks out, and I just feel like he'd be better served on a team that has, like, instead of an upset AD carry, you have like a Fleckhead, where you could play the
Yeah.
weak side bot lane, play towards the top laner who's actually mechanically quite good. I just don't like him on this Fnatic team, and I put him in retire tier just because I want him to retire from the Fnatic roster so they can get a top laner who will, like, Odo Omne, please come out of retirement and play weak side
he's
for this
happy
Fnatic
coaching.
team.
He's having a great time coaching, but
He is, and
Wonder's
casting
still
and
open.
stuff. Wonder is still open. They used to have Wonder.
Yeah, they had Wonder for a little bit when he had to come back to sub in for Oscar when he had health issues.
Yeah, and it looked great. He played Renekton every game, and it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. Can't do that anymore, but still.
So
Is that
Mickey
Mickey?
X, yeah, where are you gonna put
Uh,
Mickey?
I mean, I still have to give. I have to give respect and put him in God tier. I gotta.
Okay,
I think he's
respect.
still that good. Do you have any other hard opinions? Because it's still Mickey. It's all there. It's the complete package of a support. It's the engages, the enchanters, it's the weird champions that you need from supports. It's the calling, and now you've got the best bot lane in EU on Fnatic, and it is upset Mickey X. It's not just upset or just Mickey X. It's the entire combo.
I mean, I would have thought that at certain points earlier on in the year, but Lebrav and Hans Sama have leveled it up so much that I actually don't know if, and Supa and Alva are also very good. I don't know if I could say, I think Upset's the best AD carry, but I actually think Mickey has fallen off a little bit. Like, I would maybe almost even though he is a god of the LEC, I would almost maybe put him in high A, just because of how he's looked in some of their recent performances. He has been on a bit of a slump, and going into Worlds, I don't think he is the same Mickey X that we saw earlier on in the year and also past G2 rosters. I'm fine to keep him in God tier for now, but if we have to move him later, I also would consider it. But
This world is going to be pretty much it to decide because he's at that edge, right, where he's losing that status of consistently being the top of the league, and now there is competition, and the competition's really up there. So we got to see at Worlds, like, what are you going to do against these better players or players that are supposed to be better than you? How are you going to compete? So I'm fine with that. And is that upset? I don't know. I have to have
this is Poby.
Hobie.
So we got the ghost himself. I'm not putting him in God tier, by the way. I would probably put him in the same tier as Quad. I'd probably put him around Quad's level.
Yeah,
I think he's. I think Quad is
similar.
a higher ceiling, but I think Poby has a higher floor. So
very true. That's what happens when you spend.
I think you actually
longer
want the
playing in Korea.
floor more than you want the ceiling for a mid laner at this point. So I'd actually maybe even put him above Quad.
In current meta, it's so much more important to be a more consistent player. Because in mid lane, like Quad and Poby share champion pools. They share a ton of champions, and we can see what a higher floor means with these kinds of champions. If you're just always there and always ready to team fight, and the extra time that Poby has spent in Korea is definitely showing in comparison to Quad in terms of like time in tier 2, time in solo queue, and so on. And but I mean, there is a chance we see the reason literally no team in Korea wanted to pick up the T1 Academy mid laner for 2 years straight.
Yeah, I just don't think he's a good player. I think that he looks okay in the LEC because he has laning fundamentals, but I think when it gets to international, he's going to get exposed. But
Yeah.
we will have to see. I think a player who can actually play really well internationally or lose his team the entire game is Razork. I would put him at the top of A above Whippo right now, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's a very good jungler.
He's
He
he's
obviously
a leader,
issues,
man.
but yeah, he is.
Yeah. He's got the issues, and there is definitely still gaps in the game. But this is a player that came into the league and was like the mechanical, Lee Sin guy, and has like done the standard transition of moving over into the less mechanically inclined champions, but still actually has that edge over a lot of people, and is a great IGL in the game.
I mean, I don't know, man. I've heard their comms. They sound chaotic as fuck. Like they don't even
they're
none of them know
chaotic.
what's
I mean,
going on.
you can, if as long as you as a team can survive in that chaos, I think it's fine. You don't have to have like the Korean style, literally say no words in a team fight comms to be a good like communication team. If you ask the right people, and like optimized wise, yeah, it's chaotic, but I think it's fine. And MKOI seems to figure it out domestically too. So I like you're the veteran on a team of a bunch of rookies and JoJo, and you brought them all up, and now they're number 2 in LEC.
It's true. Well, actually, they're number 3. MKOI was the second seed. They were in finals with G2. Because of Oscar just sprinting it in the semifinals to Merwin.
Yes, my bad.
The Merwin trash talking, getting up out of his chair and yelling, like, that was pretty hype. After he 1v2 on the Kasata, just absolutely kick a Chad. But upset, the most maligned and hated good AD carry in the LEC, the man himself. Where are we putting upset?
I think it's a disservice to put him anywhere that isn't
God tier.
God tier. Yeah,
Agree.
I think it's just a disservice to the career and to the kind of player that he is. Is the best AD carry in the league multiple times over. Has been the one person. Yeah, has been MVP. Has been the one person that's been able to break through into like the All Pro votings as like the first team on the team that's not winning LEC or like obviously winning LEC. And so there's respect on the name, and at the same time, when I think of the players that can just get slotted in as like an action figure into an Eastern team or like in those leagues, upset's like the number 2 or number 3 name that I think of that won't actually fail. Inspired,
upset, inspired caps, yeah,
it's those 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Now on to maybe more controversial picks here. We have Broken Blade, the top laner for G2. Gets a lot of hate, Broken Blade. A lot of people think that he's not good enough to be on G2. A lot of people think he's the best top laner in the LEC. I personally do not. I think it's obviously Canna. But Broken Blade, where are we putting him?
I think top laning as an art form, I think Kana is better. But I think in terms of players on my team that I want, I do want Broken Blade over Kana. Not because of like, oh, I think he's better. I just think he's more versatile, and I do kind of agree with like a top of B. A top of B would be a great suggestion. Just because I don't think he has the explosive factor that he used to have as much anymore. And I think that's a shame, and I think that's somewhere. I have a feeling that is somewhere in him, and it's just hard to get out.
I don't know.
Nowadays.
I've been hearing about the Broken Blade potential for like 5 years at this point, and
yeah,
then every time we go to international, he shits the bed, or he has like one good series.
I'm not even talking about international anymore, because like the last time he had that explosive factor, it's literally all comes back to TSM. Like the last time we saw that Broken Blade explosive factor is fucking TSM and his Vladimir.
Reggie knew how to whip his players into shape.
Reggie could whip his players into shape, and that Mercedes-Benz getting stolen at the same time. Not by Reggie, of course.
Yeah, bring back Peter Zhang.
Bring back Peter Zhang, but like
we need some stakes on these games. If you don't win the game, if you don't win your lane, Peter Zhang steals your car after the game. Get them some motivation.
Steals the Kia car. It's got to be a Kia this time because they're all sponsored by Kia now, it seems. But
that's true.
I don't think, like we've seen it in the past, and I still think it's in there because I'm a frequent of the Broken Blade VODs still because I still think he's got it, and you can see it in solo queue, and it just never transitions, and it's a shame. So that's where I kind of putting him there. Is he's a very fucking good weak side player. It's literally just Wonder, but minus the carry potential.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Now we have Caps. I think it's the obvious god tier for Caps. The man has looked insane this year.
He's the third.
I would put him, honestly, either 2 or 3 in god tier. Probably, honestly, it's more impressive as a mid laner. I'm going to keep Inspired number 1 because he's our boy. We'll keep Caps number 2.
It's impressive for how long he has been good in a region that went through, oh my god, like 10 at least just supposed generational mid laners that were supposed to dethrone Caps, and every single time Caps got the better, like without question. There was your humanoid, there was your Niski came up, not necessarily meant to dethrone, but meant to be like as good, couldn't stay as long. Vladdy didn't necessarily live up to expectations. Viteo, I think he's teamless right now.
Yeah, he was living off his one split on Misfits like for a pretty long time.
For a long time, but like, that one split had that energy of like, oh my god, all these people can dethrone Caps, and no one can because it's Caps.
Humanoid still the player that is like as good enough to do it, but he needs the pieces around him, and I hope we see Humanoid return to the league. I think it would be a shame if he didn't. But I completely agree with you. Caps, obviously, God tier. Look at our 5 players in God tier now. This would be a banging team. Just move Busio to mid lane and Caps top lane. Or, Busio could definitely lane. He's mechanically good. Definitely keep Mickey on support. We're not putting him in any lanes. But yeah, I mean, that'd be a baller team just with those 5 players. But Hans Sama, the renowned AD carry of G2, formerly of Team Liquid, was horrendous on Team Liquid, but he's actually extremely good now. I think he's one of the most consistent AD carries in the LEC. Outside of our boy Upset, I would put Hans Sama personally in A tier. Yeah. Probably top of A.
Mm-hmm. I think I still have that sour taste in my mouth every time I think of Hans Sama.
Just from the Team Liquid days.
For not even Team Liquid, but like the middle of season like dog days of G2 splits, where like Team Liquid was bad, but he came back and he was back to the Hans Sama that left EU. But every time G2 sucks is always the bot lane.
Yeah.
It is always the side lanes. It's always either Broken Blade and whoever's in the bot lane, and right now it's been Hans Sama for so long. Now,
it's honestly never Hans Sama's fault. It's Lebrov's fault.
It's not his fault, but I still kind of even with Mickey X though, it was kind of Hans Sama's fault. Still, it was also Mickey X, but it was the bot lane in general that struggled. And whenever one of them is failing, I do generally look at both the players as fault, because it is the one lane that you are a duo of, and the lane is a 2-person responsibility, and you need to figure like your shit out as a duo. If one of the duos is bad, the lane's going to be bad, so you have to figure it out. And by that, I kind of by proxy blame him. But I don't rate him as low as Lebrov for that reason as well, because it wasn't his fault. It was his fault that they couldn't really get out of the rut, in the same way that's also Lebrov's fault that they couldn't get out of the rut. But
Lebrov is actually insanely good.
He's good now. He's good now. I don't call him like, hey man, you're wasting Caps' career, which we can kind of turn this into Lebrov discussion of. Yeah, he's really good right now.
I put him A tier. I put him bottom of A.
Yeah.
His form has been insane. He's been insane.
I can't put him next to Broken Blade. That's the thing. Is like I can't put him next to Broken Blade. I want him B, but I look at the rest of the people in B tier and I'm like, he's better.
Yeah, Bravo, he is better. He's so good.
So I kind of have to agree with the bottom of the A. But if there is a player who going in internationally, if there is 2 players going internationally, it's gonna fuck up. It's gonna be Lebrov and Broken Blade, and I wouldn't be shocked they get there and the whole house explodes.
I would honestly switch Lebrov and Mickey even right now. Like I would put Lebrov over Mickey X. Like I'd put Lebrov just for like going into Worlds performance in the playoffs. Like Lebrov God tier, Mickey X A tier. Like just from the games they played in playoffs and going into Worlds here. I mean, if you're okay with that, I kind of want to switch them. If we get the, maybe we're a little spicy here.
I'll give it to you because you let me call Alvaro a good a world class Rakan.
No, because you didn't call him a world class Rakan. You called him the best Rakan in the world.
Yeah, world class Rakan. Yeah, the best Rakan in the world. And you gave that one to me, and you let me have the one. I'll let you have this, but. I think if there's someone that's going to go internationally and fuck it up in the same way that happened at MSI as well, it's going to be Lebrov.
I'm going to see just Broken Blade put the game 1 Warwick in the bag, and we'll see how that goes.
Can we be one Warwick here, and you're going to hear that shit, and you're gonna log off.
Yeah. Last G2 player we have Skumond. Dude, where God tier's getting pretty full, but this guy is the truth. He is unironically second best jungler in the West.
We just have a lot of good players.
I'd put him up here. So I'm noticing a startling lack of NA players in the top at the top tiers here. But...
Oh, we haven't done NA yet either. We've done just FlyQuest from NA. So
yeah, what, you think any of the 100 Thieves players are going to make the way up?
No. Well,
absolutely not.
Quid will go top of A, but I don't know about the rest of them.
I mean, maybe. But yeah, I think what's his name? Skumon, pretty cut and dry, extremely good jungler, inspired-esque, even, has the glasses as well, so there's some synergy there. I included VKS here just because they're in the LTA and we're doing LTA North. Might as well include the South as well because we were in the conference together. So I think the best player on this team is Morpheus. I thought this guy looked like a legitimately good AD carry. Like his quadricle on the Kaisa he had in their one game and just completely stomping 100 Thieves. I was very impressed with him. I'd put him in A tier. Like I actually think this guy's good. Bottom of A tier, I think, but
get behind that a little bit. The big thing,
I guess looking at Quad and Masu down here makes Morpheus A tier feel kind of bad.
It's kind of weird to me, just because AD carry is a hard role to judge.
It is, that's true.
Like every game that VKS was in a good spot to play, he was right up there. So I'm not going to take it away.
And he has the killer instinct as well. Like he would be flashing in to get the last auto. That's what you want to see.
He wants it, man. That's Brazilian AD carries, man. That's what they do. So
let's put some respect on his name. We'll put him in there next to his fellow Brazilian Bwipo.
I'm fine with it. I can't see those names anymore.
So the next ones we got are Boel, Decimus, Miru, and Trimby. Boel, I'm going to go ahead and throw him straight in C tier. CD above Geckos, I think. Decimus, just a fine jungler.
He's serviced.
I think that the better jungler is Tatu. Obviously, is the better jungler.
That's the guy with the Ronaldo.
The guy with the Ronaldo hair. Yeah, he's the best jungler there. Might be getting LCS offers, by the way. I heard some rumors, but we'll throw Decimus, I think, over here in C tier with Boel.
I guess if we got X in our region, there's room for
Miru. I think below Quad.
Yeah, the broadcast spent a lot of time hyping up Miru as he's one of the players that when they came to VKS, he's the reason they were really good.
It's true.
But I think when I compare it to the rest of the mid laners at this competition from the West,
he is the worst one.
I don't think I saw anything that made him out. Yeah, I don't think I saw anything that made him outright better than Quad.
No, he's the worst mid laner, but I'd still put him in B tier just because I think he's a good player.
Yeah, he's a good player.
But worst Western
Trimby,
for sure.
Controversial one though.
Okay, let's hear it.
I don't think he's coming to Worlds on good form.
I don't really either. I do think it's kind of hard to judge the form when they're playing against FlyQuest, but at the same time, FlyQuest is going to be one of the worst teams you could play against at Worlds. So
FlyQuest is a lucky draw at Worlds.
Yeah.
If you're VKS here, so and that's what Trimby looked like. Now it is kind of the nature of when you play these engaged supports. If shit goes bad, you just always look bad doing it. But I don't know.
C tier, B tier,
top of C, bottom of B for me. I don't think he needs to retire, but
we'll put a bottom of B. We'll put some respect on him. Because we got 10 more players to put in here, so it's going to get pretty filled up.
We got some stinkers. Stinkers are coming, don't worry.
We do. I mean, that's just the last 5 we're going to do is really just what we're referring to there. But we've got Supa here next. I think Supa is solid. I think he's kind of like a carry jungler, of a carry AD carry version of Flackid. You'd put him, bottom of A?
Yeah,
above Morpheus?
Yeah, 100%. He's been playing. It's easier to say that because he's been playing against better AD carries.
Yeah.
But you mentioned now Supa Alvaro are a top lane in EU again. Obviously they won.
Yeah, they're really good
at finals, but they're genuinely a really serviceable lane. We've seen them go international and do fine, albeit not the best.
And Supa's another player that plays with that confidence that you want to see, the same as Morpheus. Yeah. He will go in and stand and deliver and try to go for the play and whatnot.
And a big thing is that he doesn't change his play style when he's playing against different players, which I think is very valuable.
He's very confident.
He has the way he plays. He likes it, and they're very bought into that. And I'm perfectly okay with that.
And if you don't shake his hand in the handshake line, he'll shove you physically. which was the funniest meme coming from that was Upset's team doesn't even peel for him in real life. They're like, whatever, like, when Supa just pushed him. They're like, his support won't even peel for him in real life. We got Merwin. I throw Merwin in God tier, man. I think this guy is legitimately cracked. He's like what everybody wishes Broken Blade was, with like the weird picks.
Yeah, it is. It is just Broken Blade. It's everything that Broken Blade is like supposed to be. But
maybe if Broken Blade shaved his head, they would kind of look kind of similar, and maybe he'd be better. Shave your head and gain 100 pounds, Broken Blade.
That would be so fucked up because he's so short. He's too short to. I think Broken Blade's too short to be bald.
Yeah, that's true. It's just
it'll
too much Danny DeVito energy at that point.
He'll get a hair system.
What do they call it? Series of wigs.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think Merwin's God tier. Is that controversial? I don't know. I thought that guy was extremely good.
It's controversial.
I think he's better than Broken Blade. Like, I think G2 would be a better team if they had Merwin instead of Broken Blade. Jojo Pune, the great hope of NA.
It's not even in NA anymore.
Still our hope. The Western hope.
I mean, there's more A's than we have anything else, and I think he's another A tier. I don't think he's God tier quite yet. I need to see him. Yeah, I need to see him transition into like all facets of the game, because right now he's a very, very good laning mid laner.
He had the solo boloed caps.
He was outlaning
caps in a lot of games.
He's looking really good against Knight at the last International, and so we get to see him go and do that again. And
it's not like the fake version of like where Zhao, who was like, I think Palafox might be a genius. That's like where they just say that to trash talk. Like, JoJo's actually good.
Yeah, he looked good, but I need to see him consistently have good gameplay across the entire game, because usually in against like really good opponents, and yeah, it's in like, you know, against Team Heretics, he's really good late game, but I think there's a lot of players that would be really good against Team Heretics on this list. So it's hard for me to put him God tier, and when I look at the people God tier, and I think God tier is a little too full, because I don't think there's
no more gods left.
I don't think there is any more gods left, so it's just gonna kind of go down from there. I don't even.
He was kind of looking shaky in the final though.
Yeah.
But yeah, we put JoJo top of A. I like that. Alvaro, best Rakan in the world according to some. Where are we thinking for Alvaro? Somewhere in A tier.
Yeah, it's another A tier.
Above Mickey.
It's another A tier pick. Yeah.
Recent performance, I'd say.
Recently, yes. Yeah, I think about there's good. At least what I'm seeing in the 7-second delay. He's good. It's the other half of the really good bot lane from MKOI. I don't really know what I need to see from him to put him in God tier. It's just kind of like a gut feeling of I don't want to put him up there quite yet. I want to see another year before I really, move him up there. If you have any other hard opinions, because I feel like it's kind of a done deal. Like A tier, yeah. A lot of MKOI guys are like that to me, though.
Yeah, I agree. Elyoya, he is the captain of this team. He is sometimes the best performing player on the team, sometimes the worst performing player on the team. Got a little bit of the latter in the final. He was very underwhelming for me. Skumond ran a clinic on him, which is part of the reason why we have Skumond in God tier. If we put Elyoya at A tier, that's 4 out of 5 of MKOI.
I think that's it though. I think it's like a well-rounded team that has a really good floor, but the big issue is they don't have, like, their explosive player is JoJo and Elyoya.
Yeah.
And we see that consistently of, like, this is a team that doesn't necessarily have an extra gear, and their extra gear is wildly inconsistent when they're in that gear.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so tier list is all wrapped up. Just throw all the 100 Thieves guys there and retire, and we can. No, I'm just kidding. We can do 100 Thieves now. What do you think about the 100 Thieves, boys? We got River.
River right now for me. River's a solid like addition to B tier. Dokla, another like I don't want to put him in C tier, but I think I kind of have to.
What about D for Dokes?
D for Dokes? That's where I was going to put FBI. Actually, no, not FBI, Ayla. I was going to put Ayla in D tier. I don't think he should retire, but I don't think he's great. Sniper can stay and retire. Quid is my last.
Top of B?
Top of B? At least. I still think he's good. Recent performance? Yeah, bad, but like, he's good.
So, Sniper, it's so tragic to me that Sniper might actually just retire. Like, this guy had so much promise. He was like one of the most hyped prospects where the people were like waiting for him to like turn like, what was it, 17 to join the league. Like, he was like a fucking teenage girl getting ready to make an OnlyFans. Like, he actually just like
he was the most hyped, I think, prospect we've ever had come into NA. Just because like the last time we've had a person this hyped was literally Bjergsen. Yeah. And when Bjergsen came to NA, we had no clue who this motherfucker was. So, yeah, 100%. And it's a big letdown. I think a lot of it comes down to his either refusal or inability to just learn new champions. He needed to add new champions, and it felt like every offseason he could at most add one to his pool. And you need to be able to add, when you're not playing internationally, you need to be able to add like 4 champions throughout that whole offseason. And it felt like he kind of just clocked in, showed up, played the games, did good enough to not be considered the worst, and then for like 2 years, and then this year came by, and it's like, yeah, you are just literally the worst.
I put a lot of that on his coaches. Like, I think if he had better coaching staff, this guy would have actually like flourished if he was on Team Liquid or something.
His coach is literally in the fucking game, and we're calling him better. So I am like, him. Nowadays, I like afterwards, I'm full on that. I think it was kind of like super scummy with what 100 Thieves did. I think it was the right decision. I think if they kept Sniper, they don't qualify for Worlds, and we have Shopify Rebellion here.
Which would turn out the same result.
Yeah, actually, no. It would have been Pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been Pain Gaming. So it's a good result for them, but it's also like there had to have been like that as an alter motive for the whole time. And it's a little scummy, but hey, it's a competition, and I think if you're not playing well, then you need to figure it out. I think he either needs to genuinely go back to tier 2 and not be allowed to play his 4 champions, or like fully stream and figure it out and just take the money.
Completely agree. Hope he makes a comeback, but leave him in the retired tier for now, as he has not played. 2 young mechanical top laners sitting down there in that tier. We wanted to put Ayla in D tier.
I think we hate our top laners.
Yeah, we just hate them. FBI, I'd put him in C tier, honestly. I think FBI is actually very serviceable AD carry.
Okay. FBI, I always value the explosiveness out of AD carries. I don't think consistent AD carries are a very usable thing anymore. And I don't think FBI has that. I don't think he's got the ability to hard carry. I think if he's 10-0 on Yanara or Jinx nowadays, I don't think he carries. You give him all that gold.
We've seen a few of them in the LCS, but that is the LCS. We're looking towards Worlds.
Yeah, it's the LCS, and it's against. I mean, it's probably against not Immortals. What's the fucking all the shitty teams in the bottom nowadays? But it would be against like an Immortals, or it'd be against your DSGs, Scary Jerry DSG, not the current one. So I don't think he can do it.
Yeah, the joke is Rahel would be in an A tier here if he was in this list.
Yeah,
for NA carries.
100%. He's so good, and it's a shame that he's on DSG, but they got to requalify for the league. So get your bag.
Which, by the way, that tournament's on tomorrow. Super hyped for that. The promotion tournament starts tomorrow. I think it's Conviction against I forget who.
It's kind of fucked up now though.
Oh, because, it's Astral. It's Summit and Ghost's team is playing against Conviction, which is just unbelievable.
It's a little weird.
Makes its way back to the LCS this way.
Now, with the LCS return, there's more rumors that it's a 10-team league again, and the promotion tournament is only one slot.
Yeah.
So there's 2 teams that are open. I'm fairly convinced that if Astral and DSG don't win, they will just add those 2 teams back anyway as invites, and they'll make them invite slots and then figure it out later because that's what Riot does. They like to push the buck.
That is true.
So I'm convinced of that, but I'm pretty sure Astral. I'm fairly confident Astral is going to win.
Yeah, I think they're just too good. Like the player strength, like Summit and Ghost are just running that league, and maybe the macro will be a diff, but I don't think so for a team like Conviction. But
Conviction doesn't have.
We'll see.
Luminosity is the only possibility, and I'm pretty sure the org itself is like completely divesting from esports again as well.
Yeah, I think I saw something like that.
So
which makes me sad because they were fun to watch as well with Insanity and
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Well, wrapped up our tier list there. Got a good look at the best of the West going into Worlds, which will be kicking off here in a couple weeks. Super pumped for that. Any final words, Halfling, on the LCS Finals, Worlds, or anything coming up for the weekend here?
I don't know. Support your 2-2 seed and go watch the promotion tournament. It's gonna be hype. Watch ASI as well. Literally everything that isn't Worlds is gonna be more hype just because of the formats. BO1 Swiss stage is just one of the worst decisions I think anyone has ever come up with.
And they intentionally keep it that way so that there's an opportunity for more upsets. It's actually disgusting.
Yep. Smile. Totally what formats are for, and not about finding the best team at the tournament. And they're about creating
Fostering
artificial
rivalries.
upsets, and you foster rivalries through making better competition, not artificially making them. Anyway, go watch all the satellite tournaments around Worlds, ASI, the promotion relegation tournament. Go watch Valorant Champs. It's an awesome series. NA's about to win it. NRG came back swinging better than ever with 3 rookies, and they're looking phenomenal.
Well, as a League of Legends fan, all I can say is definitely watch those promotion tournaments and also fuck Valorant.
Yep.
See you guys.